Welcome to the next episode of What's Crap on WhatsApp, the voice note show that investigates the crap shared in your WhatsApp groups. I'm Andisua May from podcasting company Volume.
And I'm Taryn Curry from Africa Check, the continent's leading fact-checking organization. Today we've got a special episode lined up for you. We're taking a deep dive into climate change misinformation.
Has South Africa beat its climate goal through load shedding?
What other claims do we need to watch out for? We also give you a few tips on spotting and debunking this type of misinformation.
Our main claim hits close to home for many South Africans. The country is all too familiar with load shedding, planned power cuts when electricity demand exceeds supply.
We noticed several posts circulating on social media claiming that the power cuts have slashed greenhouse gas emissions and helped South Africa reach its climate targets.
Many of the posts attribute the claim to an article by Bloomberg, the US financial news and media company. It's headlined, "South Africa Beats Climate Goal as Blackouts Slash Emissions." Who knew there could be an upside to load shedding?
Well, let's start with the basics. Climate change is the long-term shift in average weather patterns across the world. The changes lead to extreme weather conditions such as floods, heat waves, and droughts, rising sea levels, and species extinction.
While this change can be natural, according to the United Nations, human activity such as the burning of fossil natural fuels is the driving force behind current climate change.
We asked Bloomberg for evidence that South Africa had beaten its climate goal. They told us the claim was not based on data, but was a direct quote from the Presidential Climate Commission, PCC, an independent body established by the South African government to drive the country's transition to a low-carbon economy.
South Africa is part of the 196-member Paris Agreement, a legally binding international treaty that aims to limit the increase in the global average temperature to below 2 degrees Celsius.
All countries in the treaty have to put forward nationally determined contributions, or NDCs, where they show the specific steps they will follow to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions.
South Africa has committed to reducing its emissions to between 398 and 510 megatons of carbon dioxide equivalent by 2025, and between 350 and 420 megatons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. So have these targets been met already then?
Well, Crispian Olver, the Climate Commission's executive director, said he was misquoted by Bloomberg. The statement I made was that the emissions were most likely within the NDC range due to low energy availability factors and load shedding.
The Bloomberg article also didn't make clear that he did not specify which NDC target range, 2025 or 2030.
The Climate Commission sent us a comprehensive report with data to support their statement. In the report, they said there was a time lag in emissions inventory data.
South Africa emitted 450 megatons of CO2 equivalent in 2020, and so would be within the 2025 NDC range, between 398 and 510 megatons of CO2 equivalent, if it maintained its emissions at this level. However, this would still be slightly above the desired range for 2030, which is between 350 and 420 megatons of CO2 equivalent.
Because the actual data in the emissions inventory would only be issued 2 years after the fact, there would be a wait of 1 or 2 years for factual confirmation, Olver told Africa Check.
The claim is misleading. There are important qualifications to the statement, and data that would confirm the accuracy of the claim has not yet been published.
Experts told us that load shedding can contribute to a general reduction in electricity use and economic activity, but this does not mean that the power crisis is directly responsible for slashing emissions on a scale that puts the country on track to meet its global reduction pledges. As awareness of global warming grows, so too does climate change denialism. We recently debunked several claims which contradict scientific consensus on climate change.
That's right. A popular claim is that global warming is a hoax. One message says the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, an independent agency in the US responsible for space research and better known as NASA, has admitted that climate change occurs because of the changes in Earth's solar orbit and not because of fossil fuels.
This is completely crap. NASA has made it very clear that since the mid-20th century, climate change has been the result of human activity.
Conspiracy theories that blame influential organizations for an event or phenomenon are also popular when it comes to climate change. Remember the WhatsApp messages claiming that the World Economic Forum wants pets killed to fight climate change?
Oh, yes. It originated from an article on NewsPunch, a website known to peddle disinformation for profit. Africa Check could find no evidence that the WEF has called for the killing of pets in the fight against climate change.
We've also seen attempts to diminish the contribution of human activity to climate change. For example, it's often been claimed that an erupting volcano can put more carbon dioxide into Earth's atmosphere in 24 hours than humans have in all of human existence.
Also, crap. It is accepted by the scientific community that the contribution volcanoes make to global warming is very, very minor, a small fraction of their emissions from human activities.
In total, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, says volcanic emissions are at least 100 times smaller than emissions of various forms of carbon, making them inconsequential for climate on century time scales. So, Taryn, what should subscribers do when they come across these kinds of claims on WhatsApp?
A good first step is to ask yourself, where is the evidence? Posts on social media that make scientific claims, especially on topics like climate change, without any proof, should be treated with caution.
The same goes for claims that use shock value. Take a moment to think before sharing claims out of fear or anger.
That's right. Many of these claims would also have been debunked before, but tend to resurface from time to time. We call these zombie claims. Visiting fact-checking websites or doing a quick Google search can be helpful here.
And if you still can't find anything useful, make sure to consult reputable sources such as United Nations Climate or the IPCC for credible information on climate change.
That's all the time we have for today. Now you know what's crap and what's not.
Your friends and family can sign up for our show over WhatsApp. The number is 082 709 3527. Make sure to save us as a contact in your phone and send us a message.
You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts, from Apple to Spotify. If you listen there, you'll find show notes and a link to the fact checks.
Remember that you can send us a WhatsApp message, a picture, video, link, or voice note that you need fact-checked. Just forward them to us on WhatsApp. Our theme song is composed by John Bartman. I'm Andisirime.
And I'm Taryn Curry. Bye for now.
Volume.